Okay. And in this video, I will share with you exactly how to breathe. You're probably breathing wrong, and it will change the way you feel, like literally, like on a daily basis. It will really stimulate lymphatic drainage, so it will remove a lot of puffiness. You'll have more of a better physical condition. You'll lose weight. You'll have better skin. Breathing, your better posture is a big thing. Pelvic floor health. Everything improves in your life when you're breathing actually well. Now, the problem nowadays with our sedentary lifestyle and a lot of stress and a lot of garbage that's going on in most people's minds, most people are breathing very incorrectly, at least non-optimally, yes? So I'm not judging anyone, but if you're looking to improve your health, if you're looking to improve yourself as a person, if you want to be happier, if you want just a better life, then I highly recommend that you try these things out, okay? They changed my life. I had severe anterior pelvic tilt. It's almost gone. I've struggled with it for 10 years, was very insecure about it. I was super stressed, and breath work was a big part of it. And no, I'm not doing breath work like an hour a day as some guru. I just know how to breathe and to change everything, okay? You just need to recondition your body slowly to adapt to a new way of breathing, to the actual inherent way that your body is designed to breathe, okay? Now, a couple notes for women that have been pregnant, because if you've been pregnant, you have had a baby in your belly, like literally, and while that baby is growing and growing and growing, it will press on your organs and it will cause your breath to become more shallow and in the upper surface of your body. Now your body becomes accustomed to that, and so you need to retrain it to bring it back down, okay? Super important, because during birth and during pregnancy as well, the pelvic floor weakens a lot. And the thing with good breathing is that you're not just using your diaphragm, which is the main respiratory muscle between your lungs and your abdomen. It actually makes the border between the two parts of the torso. That in your pelvic floor, there's also that kind of diaphragm, right? There's two like almost trampolines that are coming back up and down. And if one is not coming up properly, when you're not breathing out fully, your pelvic floor will stay weak and it won't come up fully either, because it doesn't have a vacuum to pull up. And your pelvic floor will stay weak. You'll have more of anterior pelvic tilt. You'll get all sorts of instabilities. It will affect your posture, your breathing, the way that you feel. So especially for women that have been pregnant, but for any woman really nowadays, it's super important that you learn how to breathe. So as I already said, breathing out fully is essential, really essential. Most people are not breathing out fully. They're breathing in too much in the upper space of the body. And so, as I said, they're completely ignoring this whole pump that happens, this whole vacuum, this whole movement, this range of motion that your diaphragm should have. It's not there. Okay, if you're not breathing out fully, if you're breathing out, your lungs become smaller. And if this is the diaphragm, this is the lungs. The diaphragm should go up, yes. If you're not breathing out fully and you're leaving some air, you're, instead of here, you're going here, and you just have this instead of this. You're creating a lot of tension in your diaphragm. You create a lot of weakness in your diaphragm, and not just in your diaphragm, also in your pelvic floor. And your pelvic floor is super important for the stability of the spine, for digestion, for preventing bloating, for feeling confident in your body. It's very linked to sexual health as well. So super critical, and no one ever taught me this. I had to kind of find out for myself and realize that these are intertwined, and it makes all the difference whether you're breathing out fully or only halfway. Okay, so try it right now. Just don't sit here and listen. Try it out for yourself right now. Breathe out fully. And you'll see that your posture immediately changes, and it might even feel very uncomfortable for you to fully like breathe out past the point that you're used to. It might feel like you're forcing yourself like heavily. It might feel very uncomfortable, and that's why I'm saying it takes some time to learn, yes? But that's what you should be doing every time you breathe, is fully breathing out. So now you have that feeling, and now every time you remember, you don't need to go sit, you don't need to force yourself, just anytime that you remember, breathe out fully, do it a couple times, you'll see a change, and if something changes, good, you forget about it and go on about your day, and that way you'll slowly recondition the body to breathe properly. Also, sedentary lifestyle, make sure that some muscles, especially the psoas muscles and the glutes, get very weak and tense, and it creates a whole imbalance in the pelvis. It causes the pelvis to tilt more forward. That's called anterior pelvic tilt, and it causes the organs to like stay stuck. It creates a lot of tension in the fascia. These are things that I teach in a Superwoman community to fully handle. It's too much to teach here on YouTube, and it's better if you just join a community where you have a lot more than just that. You have everything you need to completely transform your body the way that you want and feel the best of the best in your own body. So I highly recommend that. If you want, of course, that you join a Superwoman community, and it will change your life. The intention that you should have when you're breathing, like in what part of the body should you breathe. One person says you should breathe in the chest, one person says you should breathe in the diaphragm, but what does that really mean? Yes, one person says you should breathe in the belly, that you should breathe in your toes. How do you actually properly always breathe correctly without forcing yourself, obviously, because if you're constantly being super self-conscious of the way that you breathe, it's not really improving anything, yes. So the way that the actual only correct way to breathe is to breathe backwards. Okay, so you really want to just imagine, and you'll do it well automatically, that the air not goes up in your nose, but goes backwards, okay? It will place your attention more in the back of the body, more in the spine, and you'll automatically support yourself in a better way. You want to just breathe backwards, and you want to breathe in a spine, yes, in the back of your body, not in the front. If you're breathing, you should not see any chest movements, any belly movements. You should be pretty still, and you should not hear anything either, okay? The breath should be super light, super almost non-noticeable. Now, one mistake that I see with a lot of people that have overweight actually is that they're breathing through their mouths. Now, mouth breathing is the most terrible thing that you can do for yourself. I'm not going to explain the whole mechanism here. I highly recommend you join the community for that. But it comes down to when you're mouth breathing, you're not delivering oxygen to the cells in your body. You're breathing a lot, but the oxygen is actually not delivered. And weight loss requires a lot of oxygen. And so your body cannot lose weight because it doesn't have the oxygen to do so. The mouth is made to speak and eat and never to breathe. That's where you have your nose for. Now, if your nose is clogged, that is a sign that you're breathing through your mouth. First of all, you really have to start breathing through your nose, even though when it's hard. And one trick that you can use to start unblocking your nose is fully breathing out, holding your breath until you no longer can, and then breathing in through the nose. Okay? And doing that for a couple rounds, every 5 to 10 breaths, and you'll see that something unblocks. This is because the nitric oxide that gets produced in the nose gets breathed in, and nitric oxide is a molecule that the body makes that serves as a vasodilator and a airway dilator. Okay, so it makes it wider, bigger, and it's amazing for cardiovascular health as well, and for weight loss as well. So I highly recommend you try that trick out if you're always breathing through your mouth because your nose is clogged, for example. Now, breathing through your nose might require some practice. Again, it might feel super uncomfortable. You might feel like you're constantly lacking air. Be gentle with yourself and go on a gradient, yes, but it's super important that you teach your body how to breathe properly. Now, a good trick to always keep breathing through your nose is during the night, wearing mouth tape, okay? I don't recommend the usual conventional hype mouth tapes that claim that you get a jawline, all of these things. Most of the tapes are clogged with toxins, with harsh glues, and it's just a headache to get them off, and it itches, and I hate them. There's a very, like, a much better way, way cheaper actually, and that is silicone tape. It's a medical grade tape that is used in Western medicine to just tape like infusions and like just tape around some stuff. It's very gentle tape, and that's what I put in my mouth. You need super little, it's super cheap, and it doesn't sting, it doesn't itch, and it's super gentle on the skin. It's actually very hydrating for the lips as well, okay? So that's a nice tip that I always give. Now, last but not least, I want to give you a special tip, okay? Most people, that, from my observation, are breathing too much, and they have this like mental need of, I want to breathe more, yes? It's usually because there was some kind of loss, and now air becomes like a new havingness for something to have. It's so fascinating. So I highly recommend that. Maybe me saying that already decharged something, but this is a major shift for most people that I speak to. I tell this to them and they're like, and it's okay, yes? So this might be something for you to enjoy as well, yes? So that was all for this video. I highly recommend you join a Superwoman community. I know that you probably need it. So yes, and results are guaranteed, like there's no risk. So I'll see you inside if you want, of course, and otherwise I'll see you around on this beautiful channel. Bye!